Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wa ma taufiqi wa antisami illa billah. Alaihi tawakkalt wa ilaihi unib. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la syarika lah. Wa asyhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Allahumma shalli wa sallim ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man tabi'ahu bi ihsanin ila yaumiddin. Alhamdulillah, semua alhamdulillah. Yang namuliakan lagi kasihi Al-Akh Al-Fadil Dr. Abdalrahim Shehab daripada MyCARE, rombongan daripada MyCARE, YDP Ikram Negeri Sabah, Muslim ikhwah akhawat, saudara-saudari ahli Ikram, Dewan Ikram Negeri Sabah, yang dikasihi sekalian. Alhamdulillah, bersama kita merafakkan setinggi kesyukuran kehadirat Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala kerana pada pagi yang penuh barakah ini, insya-Allah kita akan bersama dalam satu daurah khas tentang isu Palestin. Dan alhamdulillah, isu ini adalah isu sepanjang zaman yang tidak ada noktahnya. Kerana kita tahu, sedia maklum bahawa bumi Palestin adalah satu anugerah daripada Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala atas kita sebagai umat Islam, sebagai satu bumi al-hashdu wal-ribat, bumi dan tanah untuk berkumpul dan berjihad sehinggalah hari kiamat. Kerana kita memahami dalam hadis Nabi SAW bahawa di akhir zaman nanti akan berlaku fitnah Dajjal, dan di Palestin itulah akhirnya Dajjal itu akan dimusnahkan dan akan ditewaskan oleh Nabi Isa AS. Jadi ikhwah akhwat, isu Palestin ini diabadikan oleh Allah SWT dalam suratul Al-Isra ayat yang pertama lagi, di mana Allah Taala telah berfirman, a'udzubillahi minasyaitonir rajim, subhanalladzi asra bi 'abdihi lailan minal masjidil haram ilal masjidil aqsa alladzi barakna haulah linuriyahu min ayatina innahu huwas samiul basir. Sadaqallahul azim. Yang bermaksud Maha Suci Allah yang telah memperjalankan hambanya yakni Nabi Muhammad SAW daripada Masjidil Haram di Makkahil Mukarramah ke Masjidil Aqsa di Palestin, agar kami yakni Allah memperlihatkan kepada kalian tentang tanda-tanda kebesaran Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. Dalam menafsirkan ayat ini, Syekh Abdul Fattah Uwaisi, salah seorang ilmuwan Islam, telah menceritakan, mengungsikan tentang ayat tentang keberkatan dimasukkan dalam ayat ini, bukan sahaja kepada bumi Palestin dan sekitarnya ataupun mereka yang berada mendiami di Palestin dan sekitarnya, tetapi juga bagi mereka yang sentiasa memperjuangkan isu Palestin, yang sentiasa mengambil peduli tentang isu Palestin dan bersama-sama dengan rakyat Palestin bagi membebaskan bumi ini daripada Zionis Israel, kerana ia adalah milik umat Islam, seperti yang disebutkan oleh Sayyidina Umar Al-Khattab bahawasanya bumi Palestin adalah bumi wakaf bagi seluruh umat Islam. Jadi hadirin hadirat ikhwah akhwat yang saya kasihi sekalian, insya-Allah pada pagi ini kita bersama dalam sesi MRT, iaitulah MyCARE Rutua MRT Rutua, dan alhamdulillah kita bersyukur rombongan daripada program ini telah pun berada di Sabah semenjak 2 hari, dan pada hari ini adalah sesi terakhir. Dan objektif program ini dan tidak lain dan tidak bukan ialah untuk kita tau'iyah, untuk kita aware, untuk kita educate diri kita dan juga kepada masyarakat di luar sana tentang isu Palestin. Kita sentiasa bugarkan kerana isu ini adalah isu yang isu universal, bukan saja isu akidah bagi umat Islam, tetapi adalah isu humanity, isu kemanusiaan, isu universal untuk semua orang yang ciptakan kedamaian dan juga keamanan di dunia ini. Jadi kita perlu memahami isu ini daripada perspektif yang sebenar, daripada mereka yang berada di Palestin, yang memang bersama-sama dengan isu ini sekian lama. Dan alhamdulillah kita ada seorang yang kita datangkan khas yang insya-Allah sangat memahami tentang isu ini, akan mengungsikan tentang isu Palestin ini, tentang sejarahnya, latar belakangnya dan apa yang berlaku pada hari ini. Jadi insya-Allah akan disampaikan, dikongsikan oleh Al-Fadhil Dr. Abdalrahim Shehab, insya-Allah. Jadi untuk itu saya mempersilakan فليتفضل اخ الدكتور عبد الرحيم شهاب بالامام لإلقاء خطابه فليتفضل مشكورا. الله فيك.
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين سيدنا ومعلمنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله ومن تبعه بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. إخوتي الكرام، أخواتي الكريمات، بداية أحييكم بتحية الإسلام العظيم، فالسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. It is a pleasure of mine to be with you today, and thank you for brothers, sisters in Ikram for organizing this event, for giving me a chance to be with you today, inshallah, talking about the humanitarian situation in Palestine. As you all know that Palestine and Bayt al-Maqdis has a significant position in our Islam and Al-Quran al-Kareem and the Sunnah Nabawiyya al-Mutahhara. Palestine is the holy land, the land of Al-Anbiya wal-Mursaleen. Many prophets been born on Palestine, and some others did in Palestine, and their graves still until now, like Ibrahim alayhi salam, Maqam Ibrahim alayhi salam, and some others, and some of them crossed Palestine while they were traveling from place to another place. Even all the prophets being gathered in Bayt al-Maqdis during the trip of Isra and Mi'raj, and they prayed together behind our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was as an imam of them all. So means that it is a specific land. It is like a holy land. So it is Ardul Ribat, Ardul Mahshar, wal Manshar. And at all Palestine, I can say it is not for Palestinian themselves only, but it's belonging all the Muslims in over the world. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Al-ardu allati barakna fiha lil alameen, means that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala giving barakah to this land lil alameen, even not only Muslim, even for non-Muslims. So whoever taking care of Palestine, supporting the struggling of Palestinian, he will be getting the barakah, inshallah. So when we are talking about Palestine, actually Palestine have been under the occupation since more than 100 years back. It was occupied by Britain since 1917, and then occupied by Israel 1948. In that date, Israel was found. So we call it Amun Nakba, the year of Nakba. So they found Israel, they established Israel. And also in 1967, they occupied the entire Palestine, including Jerusalem, Bayt al-Maqdis, Gaza Strip, and West Bank, and some other parts of the Arab countries, the neighbors like Syria, and also some parts of Lebanon and Jordan, and also Misr as well. So these occupations, different stages of occupation actually caused multiple humanitarian and resulting in a large number of Palestinian refugees. So it's like tragic consequences. So the major issue is the refugees. So up to the Palestinian statistics 2022, we have 14.6 million, the population of Palestinian. 50% of them, around 7 million, they are living in the diaspora as a result of replacement of them when the Israeli occupied Palestine. So they immigrated the people, they forced them to leave the country, Palestine. So some of them went to immigrated to Lebanon, some in Syria, some in Jordan, some in some other countries. So still they are living in refugee camps. And when we are talking about refugee camps, it's like very complicated, very hard situation. They are living in terms of economic, and in terms of environment, in terms of education, health. They have multiple problems there. They have multiple issues there. So, inshallah, today we are talking about the humanitarian status in wherever the Palestinian in, either in Jerusalem, in the West Bank, the Gaza Strip, and also in the diaspora. So firstly, about the Palestinian in Jerusalem. So Israel actually occupied Palestine, as said, in 1948. So in 1967, they completed the occupation. So they occupied entire Palestine, so including Al-Quds, Bayt al-Maqdis, Jerusalem, 1967. So since that time, actually, Israel had a plan. The plan is increasing their. They are having a plan at that time. The plan is to Judaizing Baytul al-Maqdis and al-Masjid al-Aqsa. So this is actually, we call it al-Balda al-Qadima. In Arabic, al-Balda al-Qadima, the old city. So the old city actually is including the complex of al-Masjid al-Aqsa. So I'm showing a better slide here. As you see here, this is the old city, surrounded by this wall, and it was built since the Ottoman period. So since more than 500 years. So this is the old city. The population inside around 40,000 Muslim, the population. As I said, including the complex of Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. So whoever wants to reach Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa, he has to use the gates of the old city leading to the complex. So nobody can get in Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa complex unless he accesses the Bintu, the gates of the old city. So this is the eastern part, they are Arab, Muslim. And the western part, as you see up, they are Yahudi. They are extending the settlements, they're stealing the land. And as you see here, for example, this is like neighborhood, all the settlement, Yahudi, you know. So this is all Yahudi. So what is happening due to the, Judaizing plan? They are, here we said 40,000 orang Muslim. Not Muslim, actually 36,000 of them Muslim and 4,000 they are non-Muslim. You know when Umar ibn Khattab opened Baytul al-Maqdis and he came himself, he allowed the Christian to be staying there, not to leave. Even when he get in Kanisatul al-Qiyamah, and they ask him, because the time of Salat came, and the campaign, Sahabat asked him to pray, and he refused to pray, because he said, I am Khalifatul Muslimin. So if I pray, means that became a Muslim place, became masjid. So wherever the Khalifa is praying, becoming a masjid. So he given them all the rights, the crosses, the church, their own places, no leave, but he forced all Yahudi to get out. So since that, even when Salahuddin al-Ayyubi reopened Baytul al-Maqdis, the same. So the Yahudi, and they have al-Uhda al-Umariyah, it's like a document, it's like a constitution, preventing a Yahudi to be staying there. So even before 1948, there is no Yahudi, no Jewish inside. So what are they doing now? They are trying to seizing the Palestinian, the Muslim from the old city. Why the old city? Because actually, Al-Masjid, the old city is like the heart of not only Baytul Maqdis, but the heart of Palestine. Okay, so the old city is the heart, and the Al-Aqsa Mosque is the heart of the Baytul Maqdis and Palestine, and also the old city. So the plan is to raise up the demographic rates, the population of Yahudi there. So since they have the majority, then they are easily controlling entire Palestine. How, for example, asking, how can, as long as the Palestinian fighting, for their rights, and, so the issue, let's to imagine, to suppose that they are, changing the facts, and, on the ground, they are controlling. So the international society will say like that, why the Palestinian, they are controlling? The majority, they are Yahudi. So why Muslim, why Palestinian, they are fighting so they don't have that, so like that, And also, if they control the old city, means that it is their own capital city. You still remember Donald Trump when he declared that Jerusalem is the capital city of Israel. So no one believed, even though some other countries followed US and shifted the embassy location into Al-Quds rather than Tel Aviv and other cities, but still the international society, still the people in all of the world not recognizing. Why? Because on the ground, the Palestinians are there. So they are struggling. They are, stuck in their own land. So what they are doing, trying to seizing the Muslim. This is first. Secondly, they are trying to, they have some, many extreme Jewish groups. They used to storming Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa almost every day now. The last 2 months, Israel has had a parliament election, and they formed a government. The government is the most extreme government since found the state of Israel. And even some ministers in that government, extreme ministers, they are calling, declaring that for the police and even for the public to hold their own gun, personal gun, and to kill the Muslim, the Palestinian, whenever they see them and whenever they have doubt that the Palestinian will be fighting or facing them. You see? So they are storming Al-Aqsa semi-daily, every day with large numbers. Even bin Ghafir, the Minister of the Interior Security, he 1 week after forming the government, he stormed Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa just in a message while the people were sleeping early morning before the sunrise, like a thief. You see who is the Ahlul Ard, the owners, the Orang Asli, and who is the stranger who is coming in, while it's dark, and is protected by the police and the security, you see. So storming, why they are storming, and why the storming of Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa nowadays is like intensive, like, regular and more systematically, because they have a plan to divide Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa, to divide the division in by time and division by place. What does it mean? Let me to clarify some very important issue for the Muslim in whole of the world. Sometimes they don't have that enough awareness or real awareness. If you ask some Muslims, they will say, where is Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa? This is Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. This is wrong. This is wrong. Why? This is called the Dome Qubbat al-Sakhra. Yes, the Dome Rock. Qubbat al-Sakhra. Qubbat al-Sakhra, the rock dome. Yeah. So this the rock dome is a part of Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. And here, as you see, Al-Masjid Al-Qibli, the old masjid, Al-Masjid Al-Qibli. So if this is Al-Masjid Al-Qibli and this is the Qubbat al-Sakhra, so where is Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa? The whole complex, like Masjid Al-Haram, like Al-Masjid Al-Nawawi in the court, Kilwar, outside, you can pray. So wherever you are praying here, you are praying in Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. The total area of the complex is around 144,000 square meters. Okay? So division by time, which they are seeking to, they are saying like that, the Muslim praying Subh, finishing prayers of Subh, almost around 7 a.m. they will be khalas, going back Roma, So from 7 until 11 jam 11 pagi, almost around 5 jam, inam jam, right? 11, 12. So in this time, no Muslim no need to get in Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa, because there is no salat. The next salat after Zuhr, Dua plus, jam Dua plus. So in this time, this is division by time. We need to get in, and should be like systematically mandatory, So this is by time. By zaman, taqsim al-zamani, sorry, this is by zaman, by place, taqsim al-makani, the special, the space, by space. Okay. The Muslim used to, actually the male Lilaki used to pray here, and Berbuan used to pray here. So the rest is almost empty because it's huge, big. So they say we will allocate the place like here in this part, in this part, for Jews to perform their prayers. That's why they are storming. So it's like comprehensive plan. And also since 30 years back, they are digging Bahwa al-Masjid al-Aqsa. There is like a city lighted, you know, under al-Masjid. There is museums, there is a restaurant, there is like, you know, modern place. They said, actually they said we are, due to their holy book, they are looking for trying to find out the Haykal Sulaiman, the Temple Mountain, Haykal Sulaiman, the Temple Mountain, Haykal Sulaiman, due to their holy book, so they are trying to find it. So 30 years, since 30 years, the ulama, the scholars, the foreigners, I mean the broad scholars of heritage, they check even using the sieving analysis, you know, they never found any indicates, any I mean thing points, you know, that there is some heritage or legacy, you know, related to their thoughts and beliefs. So finding Haykal Sulaiman means that the temple of Sulaiman means that they are very near, very close to demolish al-Masjid al-Aqsa and to replace it with the Haykal Sulaiman. So this is one other point. Some other point, they are trying to, they have that like deportation decisions for those activists, you know, and social media and defending al-Masjid al-Aqsa, the youth, you see. This is the decision by the court. Deporting them like 3 months at least, sometimes the court. Not allowed to get in al-Masjid al-Aqsa. Sometimes in Ramadan, where is the peak hour, where is the Muslim gathering, you know, inside al-Masjid al-Aqsa in a huge number, like Laylatul Qadr, Jum'ah prayers, last 10 in Ramadan, Ashr al-Awakhir. They didn't give the permission for, they give the permission only for 50 over. So the youth are not allowed, so they are happy and relaxed. No one can, I mean, no resistance, no fighting, no headache for them. So this is one of the attempt. And also when they storming al-Masjid al-Aqsa, there is no fighters. That's why, you know, yeah. So actually, yeah, this is Al-Baldatul Qadima, the old city, yes? Where is the line, the white line? So one of the projects they are doing to Judaize al-Masjid al-Aqsa, looking here, this is actually a project of cable car, telepheric. So this is the path of the telepheric. So when they, accomplish the telepheric, the cable car project, they will change the external appearance, our civilization, our external architectural styles, which pointing, indicating the Islamic identity, the Islamic architecture. Just try to, and even they demolished some gates. Babul Maghariba, Bintu al Maghariba, Moroccan, one of the important gates. And also there is like a plan to develop this area, which is graveyard, like cemetery, to change it into park, just developing the city. And also multi-story building for like mall, shopping mall, you know, and some other interesting places around Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa just to hide Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. No, I mean, so the beautiful place, the most beautiful Muslim place in whole of the world, they are trying to change. This is the settlement in Al-Quds. You see, they are stealing the land, besieging the surrounding area of Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa, building new neighborhoods for Yahudi only. And also destroying the houses. Some houses in Bayt al-Maqdis, the Umar is Namratus Tahun. So the Umar of State of Israel, how much? 75 years. So we have a joke in Palestine. Actually, there is in Hebron, West Bank, they have manufacturing the shoes, the slippers, the original one. They have even a brand Napoli there. So the Napoli, the brand of the shoes in so who giving the license since that time? So the issue is to seizing the people, to immigrate the people, even when some shaheed, like the shaheed last 2 days who killed around 7, 8, in Al-Quds. Now what's the procedures? He has the nationality because they're the Palestinian in Al-Quds, the residents, they have special ID, الهوية الزرقاء, the blue one. It's like a nationality, Israeli nationality, not with full rights, but they are staying there, as it has a special case, internationally. So first thing, they withdraw the ID from the family of Shaheed. This is the first. Secondly, they close the house until the court issued the order to demolish the house. So after a while, like 1 month, 2 months maximum, they demolishing the house. And there is 2 options for the householder. First, either to pay like $100,000 for the municipality of Al-Quds to demolish, to bring the bulldozers. You see, the fees of demolishing is more than the cost of the building sometimes. The second option, if you don't have the money to pay, you have to demolish it by yourself. So you see how hard it is, how they trying to impose, to pressure the Palestinian who is staying there. And thirdly, they give them an order, a court decision to move out the city. They are not allowable to stay anymore in Al-Quds. They don't have the right. So usually they shifted into the West Bank. Okay. So this is actually, I'm telling you some stories regarding the struggling of the people in Bayt al-Maqdis. So this is the good thing. So alhamdulillah, the frontliners are there. We are supporting them in Malaysia, of course. NGOs, MyCARE, Aman Palestine, some other organization. Alhamdulillah, the people, they have the faith. إنما المؤمنون إخوة, and they are supporting. But the real fighters are there. The frontliners are there. You know some story? One guy, he has a small coffee shop. It's like the hub of this area, almost like maybe 30 square meter, 25 square kilometer only. And that is like legacy. He is warithan, miras, legacy from the father and the grandfather and the grand-grandfather. And he just promoting the coffee eatery, but Palestinian one, you know. So, so some extreme Zionist NGO came to him last 4 years, and they offered him 20 million US dollars and just to leave the place. He refused. He said, this is Ardu Waqf, land of Waqf, I cannot. Second year they came, raised up the offer. Last year they offered him 30 million. Last 2 years. Last year they offered him 40 million US dollars, and you give the bank account, we transfer to the transaction, and giving you US, either US or Canadian passport. You can go there. You see how easy, how the facilitating. Yes, but he refused. So you just imagine some guy, he's very poor, and you know, around 18 I think 20 different type of taxes imposed there they have to pay. So if you have, like, you are a resident there and you have 100 square meter house, area, the area, so there is in Hebrew, they call it, the name of the tax, its name in Hebrew language, Arnuna. Arnuna means the house tax. Every year you have to pay $100 US per satumeter. Seratus USD per satumeter means that he has to pay 10,000 US dollars if he has 100 square meter house. Means that whatever he is working, his job, he is whatever, however, how much ever he gaining, you know, he has to have additional budget, additional, saving 10,000 US dollar. 40 imbat blue, ribu, ringgit Malaysian, just a tax, just one tax among 18 taxes. The parliament, which called Knesset in Hebrew, the parliament, the Israeli parliament, recently issued a new law which called the law of the properties of absentees. If the police, for example, if the Israeli police came to the house, knocked the door, while it's empty, nobody inside. It's closed, of course, but nobody responds. Nobody inside. Directly the ownership of the house converted or transferred to the government of Israel. So let's to say the family is spending a holiday in Amman in Jordan for 2 weeks and then coming back. Oh my God, who is that? Who's here? You know, Yehudi family staying there. So how they are seizing, how they are trying to control, how they are, you know, Judaizing the city. So very, very complicated. This is just an example, huge examples, huge stories, you know. So you just imagine the struggling of the people. The media is not illustrating the real situation, everything in details, because there is daily stories happen there. And one of the gates, Babul Amud. Babul Amud is very well known, and always the conflict there. Why? Because Babul Amud is the axis, the trade axis, where is the business of the people, the shops along the way until Baytul al-Maqdis. So historically, it was the point, the center of the trades. Since like 100 years over, you know, from Lebanon, from Saudi Arabia, from Syria, used to come and to sell and trade, you know. So it's very well known. So if you buy souvenirs, anything, you know, when you go to Baytul Maqdis, along the sides, you know, both sides, you know. So one other taxes, sometimes the taxes is more than the price of the goods. You see, So a lot of them now close to two. To means that they are increasing the poverty rates in Bayt al-Maqdis. So the people have no choice either to sell the house for the Yahudi or to leave the place. So both of the options is very hard, you know. So since it's very hard, they stuck there. And you just imagine the people having like property, like small, you know, house. It's 10 million US dollars. While they are not able to pay the fees for their kids, I mean, for school or for health insurance and so on. This is, I mean, not in details, but of course, the time is not, not enough to explain more and more about the struggling, about the, the situation, the real situation of the people. But for the human, maybe we are talking about the land, the ground, the properties, the houses, the people there. You know what they are doing? They are promoting the drugs amongst the kids, the teenagers, 13, 14 of age. And if the police seen, you know, the guys, the kids, just, you know, close the eyes. Why? Because they need to establish a generation. They are destroying, of course, the Islamic identity of the young generation, because they do believe that the young generation is very important. That's why yesterday we given some lectures, some talks to the young generation, and we should light the role of the youth, you know, to support, the awareness, the culture, you know, the history, to know very well, you know, what's happening around, to be strong enough to be able in the future to defend the Muslim Ummah issues. So when they are doing, these things, you know, they are focusing, targeting the young generation. This generation growing up, looking for drugs, for shahawat, for these things, and even if you go some putting tattoo, it's like Western style. Is it Bayt al-Maqdis people? Yes. Yes. From the other side, they are controlling maybe around 60% of the schools under the Ministry of Education and Knowledge, Israel. They have been manipulating the curriculum of the pupils. They have been omitting all the verses related to loving the motherland, and also the hadith and verses as well, you know, related to resistance or fighting the enemy, and so on. So just imagine a young generation is grown up. When became, adults, they have no matured, away from their aqidah, from their thoughts, from Islamic beliefs, empty. They are not ready to defend. Why to defend? We are, you know. So this is what they are doing against al-bashar, al-shajar, al-hajar, human, stone and trees. They are burning the lands, the trees of the olives in particular, either in Al-Quds or in West Bank. Because the olives tree is shajaratun, tree mubarakah. Mentioned twice in Al-Quran al-Kareem. والتين والزيتون زيتونة لا شرقية ولا سورة النور زيتونة لا شرقية ولا غربية يكاد زيتها يضيء ولو لم تمسسه نار نور على نور يهدي الله لنوره من يشاء. So these ladies, Yahudi, extreme Yahudi, They are from an organization called Nisa لأجل الهيكل. How to translate in Malayo? Nisa لأجل الهيكل. يعني هيكل سليمان. Yes. You know how much the Zionist movement paying for the extreme organization NGOs in Beit al-Maqdis just for Judaizing Beit al-Maqdis? Just imagine a number. Just estimating $1 billion a year. Yes, they are paying salaries. They are, preparing very well. And these ladies, very smart. Today, the chairman of the committee of Nur al-Iman, Surau Masjid, he told me 10 years back, I visited the Masjid al-Aqsa through Jordan. When the soldiers see me, oh, Malaysia, please come. When I reached the committee, oh, yeah, Malaysia, please. I said, yes, this is in purpose. This is intentionally. Nowadays, it was 10 years back. Nowadays, the female soldier with a nice style, and hair, holding a flower, and is, oh, Malaysia, oh, and smiling, very looking nice, pretending. So when this Malaysian or Muslim, back or, have a good impression for the first time, oh, why the Palestinian fighting? Oh, they're very nice, Yehudi very nice. So you see, they are manipulating even the visitors, the Muslim, the abroad, Muslims mentality, destroying in the ground and, using the media. They are controlling the media, by the way, economic, everything. So this is one of the shapes of the Israeli. This picture illustrating the cracks in the floors and walls in Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa as a result of the excavation and digging Bahwa Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. And this is where is Ha'it al-Buraq, behind Ha'it al-Buraq, this place just for praying, Judaized already. Last point regarding Al-Quds, Baytul al-Maqdis, is normalization. It's a very dangerous thing. Since the Yahudi, the Israeli, couldn't finish the Palestinian issue, couldn't, close the mouth and, stop the fighting of the Palestinian, even through the 1,000 sent to the jail, 10,000 being killed and injured. So they cannot stop the struggling of the people. So they went to Plan B, to another, seminar, which is normalizing, because the people very empathizing with, the Arab and the Muslim, other countries, solidarity with Palestine. So how to keep them calm? They normalized, tried to normalize. They started with Emirates, Sudan, Morocco, Bahrain, and so on. Allahu Alam, who is in Jalan, who is next? Yes. So it is very dangerous when the Muslims comes putting the stamp on the visa, under diplomatic relationship, So one of the things we are enhancing and we are promoting, one important, significant project to bring the Muslims into Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa, the people around, not in the old city only, even in the city of Al-Quds. We don't let the court, the complex, to be empty anytime. So bringing them, even the Halaqatul Al-Quran, in Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa, Ramadan, Book of Wasa, Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. Even nowadays, we have a competition between the families, and I'll show you some photos. The families come, the whole family, entire family, Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. Competition, Quran, memorizing, organizing school trips, just to link the young generation with their holy places. So we do believe that memorizing, teaching them Al-Quran Al-Kareem, the Islamic values, Aqidah, Islamic skills, is the best mechanism to building the capacity of them, to develop them, to build a characteristics, the personal with the Islamic thoughts, to be able to hold the burden on shoulders in the future and to fight until liberation. So this is some photos inside Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa, and this is some photos, as I said, the families. So when the Jewish, I mean the extreme Jewish storming Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa find them, what they can do? They will be back. And some ladies, this is for akhawat, some ladies, like old ladies, like 70, 65, just from the morning until Asr. Just like that, you know, ribat. This is kind of ribat. Yes, just to and holding al-Mashaf, Quran. So once they are storming, they just raise up the Quran, Allahu Akbar, Allah. And you know, the Yahudi are coward as described in Al-Quran Al-Karim. So just run away. Yeah, this is the best they are doing. They don't have gun, they don't have any tools, but they have the faith. They believe that this is their own land, the Holy Land. So they are defending, even defending on behalf of all the Muslim Ummah. That's why we should support every time. As seen, you know, here, many projects implementing their Book of Wasa, Ramadan, school, back to school. Young generation, they are memorizing Al-Quran Al-Karim. Nowadays it's snowing. Yeah. Yeah. This is another part of Palestine, which is West Bank. I should light on Al-Quds, inshallah. Shortly we are, briefing the other parts of Palestine. So West Bank, the population is 3.2 million. And they are suffering from multiple also problems there, as they have a lot of refugee camps. They have some other problems. We will, show the information regarding West Bank. This is actually the yellow line. This is the historical Palestine land. The total area is 27,000 square kilometer. The historical Palestine, the entire Palestine. Gaza Strip is very small, as you see, maybe 1.5% of whole Palestine, and making headache all of the world. Just, you know, just all Gaza Strip is less than Hebron as a government. This is, you see, as a governorate. So this is the West Bank. This is the West Bank. The rest is Israel occupied land. But still in West Bank, there is settlements, hundreds of settlements. So Israel are controlling 78% of our lands.
In the position of
I'm going here in the heart of Palestine. It is one of the 11 governorates in West Bank, but we are highlighting because it's very important for the Muslim Ummah. So one of the biggest challenges facing the people in West Bank, actually the limits of movement, as they are stealing the land and build the settlers. So as you see here, Hebron, Beit Lahem, Al-Quds, Jericho, Ramallah, and so on. So if you go to Hebron, they control, there is many settlement. So means that there is borders and there is military checkpoints. You know how many military checkpoints they call it, by the way? The death checkpoints. Because so many Palestinians have been died while they were waiting on the borders and the checkpoints. More than 4,400 something, you know, the total number of the military checkpoints. So sometimes they're waiting for 6 hours, 4 hours. The kids couldn't reach their own schools, universities, student, and the patient cannot, reach the hospital. Some died. Some pregnant ladies give birth there while they were waiting. Yes, sometimes 6 hours. Sometimes, if he has in the record in the system, they taking him into the jail, to the jail. Some of them, all people did, and just imagine in the summer, there is no condition. I mean, holy place, proper place to sit, just under the sun for many hours. 3.2 million, the population. Refugees, they have many refugee camps, 19 in West Bank. The poverty around 40%, 38%. Unemployment 45. Since during the Trump era, when he declared the capital of, I mean, the Al-Quds as a capital of Israel and so on, as a kind of a pressuring Palestinian to accept the decision of America and the new situation, just to adapt with the situation, he alleviated, or he just reduced the budget allocated to UNRWA, because UNRWA taking care of refugees. You know, the refugees percentage in Gaza, 60% of Gazan, they are refugees, and so on in West Bank. So he reduced the budget of UNRWA, which paid by America in major, and also from European countries. And this budget actually used to go for schools, for teachers' salaries, for, I mean, educational sector, for clinics running by UNRWA, I mean, medical services, health services, and also for social aids like, you know, food package and so on. So the budget reduction is around 500 million US dollars a year. You just imagine. So how the teacher can teach, how can serve the people, I mean, who need the treatment and medication, they have to pay, the refugees. These maps actually illustrating the settlements, how they are stolen our land in West Bank. It was, as I said in the beginning, you know, 1967, entire Palestine they occupied, so including West Bank and Gaza. At that time, you see, one settlement, just small neighborhood. After 10 years later, you see, increase, 2018. So if you see 2022, the majority, almost, I mean, occupied by, you know, so many settlements. And this is actually the figure of Israel, from the river to the sea. And if you seen the flag of Israel, who still remember? Two lines, two blue lines, right? And the Star of Dawood, the six edges, you know, in between. So the two lines means river and the sea. River, Nile River, until. So this is the mentality of the Israeli. So they are dividing, stealing more and more and more. Every cabinet, appointment, they have meeting, they have new decisions regarding to the, even yesterday, when the guy, the Shaheed, you know, killed 7, 8 of them, they take a decision to extend the you know, the settlements. So how the people can move around? Very difficult. This is also one of the highest challenges there. This is, we call the apartheid, the separation wall. حائط أو جدار الفصل العنصري, like what happened in South Africa, the apartheid. So the Palestinian in West Bank, like in cantons. This wall around the long is 710 kilometers, the long. And the height from 4.5 until 9, depends on the topographic. Sometimes this wall dividing the Saturuma, Stanga, so separated the family, the land, the farming, the plantation. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran al-Kareem, لا يقاتلونكم إلا من وراء جدر في قرى محصنة ومن وراء جدر. بأسهم سورة الحشر. They are fighting you behind the walls. Quran Muhassan, very protected, very strong walls. So this is, we have to refer to Al-Quran to see how they are thinking. Impossible to reach to the point of like peace with them. Not because of us, because of them. So this is like, 9.4 of the West Bank lands places are isolated by this separation apartheid wall. You see the very prominent picture, the women use the mother used to hug the kids, but she hugs the olives oil tree. You see the bulldozer of it just cutting, and sometimes when the harvest come and converted into olives, oil, they come and steal the settlers and steal, take all, and sometimes burning the harvest. So you see how much is hard, to the farmers. This, demolishing the houses. We have around 5,000 right now, 5,000 prisoners in the Israeli jails. Ladies and girls, children, patients, and some dead inside the hospitals. They have cancer, they had some other diseases and problems. They didn't allow them to get the true medication. Education, there is statistics, they cannot pay the tuition fees, like 26%, 63 need their tuition fees to sustain their study. One of the problem facing them, stealing the water. They are stealing around 85% of the water resources. You see? So this is the situation in West Bank. Thirdly, the third part of Palestine, of course, it's very well known. Even some people thought that Palestine is Gaza. Where are you? Palestine. Oh, from Gaza. Yeah, they thought that the big place is, the country is Gaza. And yeah. So in Palestine, as you know, it is like very, very hard. A situation in terms of economic, social, everything, education. Since 17 years back, they are besieged. After Hamas won in the parliament election and formed the government, so they, besieged Gaza. So sometimes so they have a list of like food, material for industry. They don't allow even the building material for rebuilding. The house is broken and demolition in Gaza through the attacks, repeated war and attacks. So they have so many problems. As a result of the blockade, like a lack of electricity, water, sanitation services, municipal and social services. So Gazan people, they have been suffering since 17 years ago. So looking to the different destination, they have different shape of suffering and problem, subhanallah. Here they are, struggling. They are, maybe more hunger. But in Jerusalem, in Bayt al-Maqdis, more stuck in their land, the akun aw la akun, to be or not to be. You see? So in Gaza, as you see and follow up in the news, always attacked by Israel. So many housing units need to be rebuilt. And in the health sector, they have a lot of, they have a lack of medicine, and some cases need the surgery treatment overseas, and the border sometimes is closed. This rocket missile has been, I mean, dropped. Just imagine that it's excluded, not fortunately not excluded. So how many of, I mean, sacrifice, I mean, Qurban will be there. A lot of children have been suffering from trauma because of the losing the parents, the attack, the rockets, you know. And fourthly and finally, the other parts of Palestine, we explain about Baitul Maqdis, West Bank, Gaza. This is entire Palestine. So here we are talking about the other 7 million who are, were forced to leave the country, and they are living in diaspora, Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, refugees camps. Even in Jordan, you know, around more than 60% of Jordanian originally they are Palestinian. They are from Palestine. 60% since 1948 and 1967 immigrated there. So due to the displacement, they have been suffering from many. I mean, one of the most challenges actually for refugees is the right of return. They cannot go back. They cannot visit Palestine. For me, I'm not refugee. My father and grandfather, you know, were born in Palestine. It's difficult and hard, but at the end of the day, I can go back. But for the 7 million, they cannot, and they have special like travel document. I have my passport. At least it's like after the Oslo agreement I have, and they put the I can travel. I need visa, still need visa for the most of the countries, but the refugees, they don't have the right to return. And also one of the most challenges, you see the houses, small like shelters, small, it's like cement block, small. And you know, sometimes some old man or woman did. So just imagine, just suppose that he did, how to the janazah can be moving out. You know how they are doing? They go to the roof and move from place to place until they reach the access, the main road. No, the main road just for janazah, the car there, and you know, because it's very narrow. How to go there? How to go? How to move while carrying the body, the janazah? 56% of Palestinian refugees camps, they are unemployed. And those are working $6 a day. 50% of the population only have minimal skills needed for job. 10% have never attended school because of poverty, no fees. And one of the hardest in Lebanon, Brother Shazali, you have visited Lebanon, right? How many camps you visited? 4, 3? More? 3. You see the people, how they are spending the time on the Jalan because jobless. Even the skilled people and educated people, even the doctor, the medical doctor, there is around 72 jobs are prohibited for Palestinian to join. Only electric, mechanic can go to the workshop working like professional, you know, jobs, but the high, skilled, they are not allowed to join in Lebanon. So this is like statistics illustrating the suffering of the people in terms of education, health. They don't have, only around 10% or 11 have having the medical insurance. So the situation there is very hard. Actually, last point, even though the image I have been introduced about the comprehensive Palestine, either in Gaza, West Bank, Jerusalem, and also in diaspora. It is like bad news, right? It is very hard, very sad sometimes when you explain the truth, the facts on the ground, right? But still, Palestinian, even through the bad situation, they have one thing, they have uh, the aqidah. The aqidah means the beliefs that one day we are returning back. One day Palestine will be free. One day we liberating. One day we forced the Israeli to run away, to go out. We believe that وَإِنَّهُمْ يَرَوْنَهُ بَعِيدًا وَنَرَاهُ قَرِيبًا. We do believe, as we seeing you, we do believe that promise by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وعد الله الذين آمنوا منكم وعملوا الصالحات ليستخلفنهم في الأرض كما استخلف الذين من قبلهم ولا يبدلنهم من بعد خوفهم أمنا. Security, safety after خوف, after fear. Aman, peace after conflict. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this verse says that Allah has promised the الذين آمنوا مؤمنين وعملوا الصالحات لا يستخلفنهم, the land will be returned to them. So we do believe, because this is our right, our land. So just imagine you are so happy in Sabah, and you are staying with your family at home, makan, kids, they are playing, everything is okay, alhamdulillah, and suddenly someone storming the house, take you over outside, So what to do? Just giving up? You will never give, and you have a history here. Resistancing, I mean the occupier, either Netherlands or Japanese or UK or Britain, and so on. So we are fighting because we do believe that's our rights, our land is stolen. So we don't believe on other scenario, another option. So as long as we believing, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala giving the promise. So for example, I have 5 kids. If the Yahudi coming and kill the 5 kids, doesn't matter. That's why they are strong. They are, looking very strong Palestinian. Because I do believe when they kill, I'm more closer to the victory, more closer, killing more. When it's became, so dark, and we are closer to the dawn, al-Fajr time, then the sun will be rising. That's why we, even though we have these difficulties and these challenges, we still surviving, and we are focusing on the young generation. Maybe we didn't see the victory, the liberation of Palestine. So behind us, the new generation, they complete, inshallah ta'ala. So we have a lot of stories. I would love, if I have time, to mention at least one sample, one story about Shuhada, how much the moms, as we have sister here, the moms very strong, when they receive the news. For example, I'm giving you an example from my family. 2008, March 1st, 1st March, my daughter, my wife's cousin, been Shahid. So my mom-in-law went to her sister, the sister of my mother-in-law, the mother of Shahid. So she directly went to her house, not far, around 2 kilometers, because Gaza is small, right? So he just go there just to, to keep her calm, to give her, to support her, to strengthen her iman, because إنما الصبر في الوهلة الأولى. This is very important, to be on the time, in the الوهلة الأولى, on the time, the beginning, in the time, the hard time, to be there. If you're there and everybody around, so she will get sabr, when the family and friends, giving tazkira, maw'izah, just, sabar. This is, Baytul Hamd fil al-Jannah. There is a house, is building by malaika now for you. Your son is preparing, tasbih, please, istighfar, alhamdulillah. So my mom-in-law went to her sister for ta'ziyah and supporting her, strengthening the power, the energy, So we just spent 5 minutes and just hugged her sister, the mom-in-law, the mother of Shaheed. After 5 minutes, she received the call, my mom-in-law. Your son is Shaheed. Join the cousin. So both of them, moms, sisters, everyone has her own, case. So what to do now? My mom-in-law, how you imagine her behavior? Because this is a test. This is a test. Now Allah testing her sabr, her faith. If he cry or shout, then you lose the reward, the ajr, the mom of Shaheed. You are the mom of Shaheed. So directly she made sujood. Ya Allah, give me sabr. Ya Allah, alhamdulillah, shukr. Ya Allah, ya. Even it's very hard. Yes, very hard. You cannot imagine unless you live the situation, not to be the mom, but to see the face, the situation there. Then we have no option. Because how to get Jannatul al-Firdaus? إحدى الحسنيين. Nasr أو شهادة. Shahada fi sabilillah, we didn't get shahada. At least to be sabr, to be strong. So this is a last story. Sorry for we have a mom. She lost her first Shaheed, her first son, 2003, I think. 2008 also. So she got sabar, and she was strong. The first son case. Second one, after 5 years, the second killed Shaheed. He was Mujahid, Then, ya Allah, she didn't get the sabar as in the first case, At the night, while she was sleeping, the Prophet ﷺ came to her. And he told her, Muhammad, just get sabar. If you keep sabar, you will be awarded by Hifz al-Quran al-Kareem. Oh, Hifz al-Quran al-Kareem. By human being standards, it's impossible. It's a miracle. Why? Because she was 50 over of age, and she is not educated like primary school when she was young. Maybe got married early. So in the summer camp, she joined in Gaza. They are memorizing Al-Quran Al-Kareem in 3 months in the summer holiday. So she joined and even when she go there, just kind of respecting. She is not allowed because of the age, of course, 18 the maximum. But as the mom of Shaheed, khalas, they respect the father. Even myself, when some father of Shaheed right now calling me, I don't stay if I'm to do biduk, just stand up as a kind of respect, because they given the most valuable, thing. Anyway, so she joined the camp with the kids, and she memorized Al-Quran Al-Kareem in 2 months. This is karama from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So many examples, regarding the stories of Shuhada. So the Western scholars, of psychology, they consider as the moms, the mothers in Palestine, they don't have feelings, they don't have heart. How they accept, and they just like a wedding ceremony behaving when they have Shaheed, and they, delivering halwa, sweets to the kids and to the neighbors. They don't know because they don't have that faith, So this is all. Thank you very much for giving me the chance to talk to you, and thanks a lot to MyCARE for support, and also for Ikram. MyCARE has been running many projects, relieving projects, in Gaza, West Bank, Palestine, wherever the Palestinian in, and also for Syria, Yemen, Pakistan, Afghanistan, wherever the Muslim need the help, you know. So, Alhamdulillah, we mentioned the project. We are focusing on the young generation and also relieving the people, sponsoring Halaqat al-Quran. So MyCARE also sponsoring Adapt Hafiz in Bayt al-Maqdis, either inside Palestine and in the West Bank, in Gaza, in Bayt al-Maqdis. So hopefully we are having a share contribution always, even at least dua, to support the struggling of the people there, supporting the determination of the people in Bayt al-Maqdis, and hopefully as we have the chance to meet here, to meet one day in the complex of Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. Ameen, Allahumma ameen. Jazakum Allahu khairan. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Barakallahu feek. Sorry. Soal jawab. Soalan dan jawaban. Okay, so I have a seat there. Okay. You are investigating me, right? Yahudi never investigated me. How?
Soalan tu,
silakan please. Waalaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. MashaAllah, Nur Shahida. Alhamdulillah.
السؤال الأول مين الوراء في المسلمون المسلمين كله أو في
من السؤال مرة أخرى؟
في الضفة الغربية في وراء الجدود.
أوكي.
من هناك؟
نعم.
المسلمين كله أو
أوكي.
في هناك؟
هذا السؤال الأول. نعم.
السؤال الثاني يعني الخروج من الضفة الغربية إلى بلاد الآخر، مثل من غزة إلى مصر أو من الضفة الغربية إلى أردن، كيف يعني الحكومة تتعامل مع المسلمين عندما الخروج إلى الأردن؟
نعم.
كان أنا هناك زمان.
ما شاء الله.
الملك حسين.
في زمن الملك حسين، يعني قبل 20 عاما أو 25.
تعامل مع المسلمين جيد جدا. عشان السؤال اللي يتعلق ب
هذا السؤال الثالث.
عشان السياحة tourist from Asia they are getting to go to Masjid Al-Aqsa. Jadi the normalization بعضهم يفكر عن المسلمين في مسجد الأقصى يعيشون في عموم السلام، ما في صراع. يعني برضو ماليزيا يفكر في السؤال يعني عشان هذا أسأل.
طب أنت زرت المسجد الأقصى، لما يسألوك الماليزيين ماذا ترد عليهم يعني في هذه النقطة تحديدا يعني؟ طيب على أي حال أوكي تفضلي.
Sebenarnya tentang mengikuti West Bank, adakah dia semuanya orang Palestin ataupun ada orang yang Yahudi? Dan kedua, soalan pertama berkaitan dengan itu, macam mana urusan keluar masuk daripada West Bank ke jalan luar? Sebab kalau di Gaza mereka keluar dari Mesir, hukuman Mesir dekat sikit, kan? Tapi kalau Jordan dia keluar daripada urusan keluar masuk ni. Soalan ketiga sebab ada kaitannya lah, sebab Malaysia sekarang pelajaran digital banyak mempromosikan tentang melawat Masjid Al-Aqsa sekarang kan. Jadi dia satu proses pemasaran di mana kita tumpang orang kata Palestin tak berperang sangat ikut keadaan yang aman macam Malaysia. pada sebagian melajukan kesan yang membawa idea itu. Contoh satu yang saya pernah baca kan, dia nak buka berkaitan dengan isu kan, yang nak tanya dengan isu yang
نعم. Thank you for the question. شكرا لك يا أختي الكريمة شهيدة على هذه الأسئلة، وهي أسئلة مهمة. Very important questions. First, based on the first question, actually, as I explained and shown a picture of the separation wall we call جدار الفصل العنصري, the racism apartheid wall. It's dividing sometimes the farming, the plantation, even the housing area, so the neighborhood sometimes from the middle of the houses, so part here and part here. Of course, they wanted to isolate some parts of the West Bank for security reason. So they isolating the Palestinian whole from the side, the Palestinian living, and from the other side, Yehudi are living. So this is the first question. The second is regarding to the movement. You just imagine that the distance between my house in Gaza, I'm staying north in Gaza, so the distance between my house and Al Masjid al-Aqsa by Google Map around is exactly 76 kilometers. No, 76, just almost 1 hour, driving. So I cannot reach Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. The Gazan people are prohibited to, as was shown, we are here in Gaza Strip. I'm from Gaza. So Gaza Strip located in the southern part of Palestine. So we have a border with Misr, with Egypt. So since the situation, since the blockade of Gaza, the people are besieged since 17 years back, it's very hard, difficult for Palestinians to go out, even though nowadays there is some facilities with coordination with Egyptian authorities. So, but it takes time for Palestinian in Gaza to go out through Egypt border, through Rafah border. So they have to cross Cairo and go drop at the Cairo airport and travel abroad. This is for Gaza. For West Bank people, they cannot come to Gaza. They cannot come to visit Gaza. Almost, totally separated, because in between the Israeli, the occupied land by Israel, they have their own cities and so on. So for West Bank people, they used to use the cross border with Jordan, the bridge. So the only way for them to get the permission to go out, Also in Gaza, more complicated, because actually in Sinai they have sometimes conflict with some groups. So there is a reason, but maybe easier for West Bank people to go out. But whoever has a security reason, a record at the system, of Israel, he cannot. Otherwise, he will be jailed when he reach the border. When just So and so many. Even some West Bank student most of them who studying in Malaysia, when they reach the cross border, they investigating with them, and some of them going to the jail. Just So this is the situation. Gazan people cannot go to West Bank. West Bank and Jerusalem people cannot come. The West Bank people, when they travel, they are using the border with Jordan, so they're using Amman airport to go overseas. For Gazan, used in the southern part, used to cross go through the Rafah border using Cairo airport to go around. This is the situation regarding the second question. Thirdly, regarding the people in Al Masjid Al Aqsa, they are living in peaceful. It is the wrong idea. Why? Because Israel, of course, as I mentioned in the talk, they are using the normalization topics, you know, to bring the Muslim. So the Muslim, all of you can visit Al Masjid Al Aqsa, no problem. But for me, impossible, because I'm the owner of the land. So they consider me as a terrorist. You know, they will, I mean, definitely taking me to the jail. But why they are doing that? They are doing that under the normalization phase. Secondly, they want to show either to the Muslim or the international society that we have no problem with the Muslims from Malaysia, from Turkey, from Pakistan, from Afghanistan, from Indonesia, from Bosnia, from Azerbaijan. They can easily get in. We have no problem. And as I told you, they're receiving with a smile and these things. And, you know, you are supporting their economy. You are supporting maybe when you are taking, buying some souvenir or even coffee or restaurant. The taxes goes to the military, and maybe you give them the cost of the bolts, and they are killing after that some kids. So you see how it's dangerous. Yes. So the people there, they are suffering, and I showed the shape of suffering, trying the Judaizing the city. They are defending there. They are not so multazim, you know, but they are defending really there. Yes. Any more question? Please come. No problem. Malay.
Boleh Melayu pun boleh. Melayu pun boleh.
Boleh cakap Melayu saya, boleh cakap Melayu sikit-sikit lah. Bahasa Melayu boleh sikit-sikit lah. Paham. Boleh.
There was question online.
Yeah, no problem.
They were asking how can the Palestinian stay there? How can they actually survive there in such difficult situation? The tax and domestic, we're telling that they're very limited resources. Question is how they live.
Yes, you can. Anyone can ask the question, but the people there actually, referring to the people there, if everybody is thinking, everybody Palestinian thinking in the same way, it's very hard it's very, very hard. It's very, the situation, the economic situation is very hard. The jobless, economic, employed, 10,000 of graduated are jobless, maybe around 300,000, they are jobless. If everybody is suffering from the hard situation and complaining, so thinking about other option. What's the other option? To immigrate, to go to Europe, either illegal, immigration or so on. So leaving the country. So if everybody choose the easiest option to leave at the end of the day, leaving the country. So we are leaving the country for Israel to control more and more. And one thing related to the refugees in diaspora, nowadays they are encouraging them to apply for immigration in Canada and Europe, and very easy for them. Why? Because you are alleviating of the consequences of the issue, the burden of the issue of the refugees. For the Israeli side, because if the burden like 100% became 90% less and less and less and less, then we will lose our main cause, you know. So refugees is very important part, as Jerusalem, as the water resources stolen by Israel, as the prisoners in the Israeli jails. So we as Palestinian don't think in this way. Of course, we have our serious problems in terms of economic, of multiple problems. Electricity just 6 to 8 hours a day, but we adapted with the situation. Once I was studying in UTM, when I studied during the trip of PhD, and suddenly the electricity, suddenly, maybe for I was outside with my family, so we were back to UTM campus because we were staying there. So very long queue of students, the cars, going out. So what's happening? Then I waited like 30 minutes to get in. Very long queue. Then I asked the security, what's happening? What's happening? He said, no electricity. So the student from the International Society just went to the city around to looking for a hotel because they cannot be with the panas. For us, we were it's normal. Either 1 day, 2 days, we adapted with the situation, really. And something, it's like, from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, giving the sabr. And don't forget that this is Ardul Barakah, the land of Barakah. So one of the Barakah, shapes, that giving the sabr and the struggle and the strengthening the power to the people, to stay, to adapt to the situation. So imagining that jobless, and maybe the income like $200. Sometimes I'm thinking how, even I was a chairman of Islamic Society, one of the biggest NGOs in Gaza. During that time, so very less, how they are feeding the family, 7, 3 of them in universities. So subhanallah, you don't know, they are dying from the hunger in Somalia and some other places. But in Palestine, mashallah, they are getting very good education and very smart, and this is the barakah of the land. المسجد الحرام إلى المسجد الأقصى الذي باركنا حوله. So when the women, the mother of Shahid getting sabr, this is the barakah of the land. When we eat even tomato, jambo, fruits, very smelly, very nice, not like, the fruits and the vegetables. We don't even when comparing the taste with the Gaza. And I just last night I was telling the doctor, Gaza is like coastal city, so the width is just 6 kilometers. So sometimes around the beach, close to the beach, like 100 meters to the beach, we have trees, korma trees. So the korma is very sweet, while we have the sea. There is no, sweet water, So how can, this is barakah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by the logic should be die, because there is no water. I've been in Algeria, in the Wadi Souk, the desert, the temperature is 550 plus, and sometimes the water, the korma tree like sleeping, Subhanallah, this is the barakah of the land. That's why the people are surviving and staying, and also they have a big goal. We have to struggle, we have to fight, even though the situation is not, sufficient. But at the end of the day, we will, inshallah, win. Habis, mashallah. Closing the session, no questions anymore? We are standby, no problem. Our flight 9:30.
Maybe internationally, from what Brody has been taken by Palestinian brothers, what are the major things that we can gather? Current strategies that right? What is our
There is
that we have currently now?
The only option, there is no camera, right? No live. Okay.